Thank you for listening to Right Jokes, Wrong Times. Today I was joined by Justin Governale. You can find him on social media at JustinGovernale. We started the podcast talking about his recent trip to Costa Rica. I'm crazy excited to talk to you because, dude, you just got back from like an insane, I don't even know the full details. Tell me a little bit about your trip.
Man, I bought a one-way ticket into Costa Rica, and I was flying out of Guadalajara, Mexico, and I had
Yeah.
2 weeks to figure out how to get from point A to point B.
Damn. How much research beforehand?
Absolutely zero.
It's my kind of trip.
It was dope, man. I went to quote unquote find myself, and what's funny is I actually did.
Like your sexuality. You went to find your sexuality is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
it turns out
So,
I like dudes. So
so in all of it, did you find yourself?
honestly, dude, yeah, man. Like it's a super deep. Like I know this is a comedy podcast, right? But
Not to most people.
dude, it was super serious the entire time. No, man, it was life changing. And what's funny is what I take away from everything is if you're looking for something, you're gonna find it.
Nice. I've heard similar things from cops when they set up those bait cars.
Yeah. Same with my ex. Like, dude,
So-
if if a girlfriend goes to your phone and she's looking for something, she's gonna find something to get mad
so
about.
what would your girlfriend find right now if she went through your phone?
Well, I don't have a girlfriend, but
So-
what would she find? Honestly, dude, it's gonna sound funny. Like since the trip, I'm like, I'm a different human.
how long do you think this different human phase will last then?
I don't know, man. Being real was what where all this stemmed from was I went to the war, dude, and I did my stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if you can hear my dog drinking in the background, super loud.
So-
Anyway,
I thought that was the peanut butter.
yeah, it is actually. I'm just saying with my dog. I was testing you to see what you can put on the show or whatever.
So-
But dude, yeah, man, I like didn't believe in anything before this trip, and
Right.
now I'm like, man, things happen for a reason. So there wasn't really a whole lot of funny behind this trip, other than when I went to Panama. I like met these smoking hot girls. Like Panama has the hottest women I've ever seen in my life, in
Yeah.
terms of country wise, like per capita maybe. And I stumble. I'm like, yeah, go and like just be random. And I met these girls. And I'm in like the ghetto of Panama, and these girls are like, "Hey, you want to
So-
go to an after party?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure."
An after party. After what?
Like after all the bars are closing, they were telling me, "Hey,
So-
if you want to go to this party, let's do this." I'm like, "Okay." So they say, "Well, we need liquor, we need alcohol," and so they start like, "Oh, can we get chips? Can we get this? Can we get that?" And I'm telling them, "Yeah, like keep stacking it up." And so it totaled to only it was $97, which in Panama is a lot, right? Not here,
Right.
but that's like a lot of money. And they were like, "Yeah, can we get chips? Can I get this bottle? Can I get this beer?" I was like, "Yeah, for sure." And then we walk out, and then these girls grab everything except for a 6-pack, and they're like, "Hey, cool. Well, we're gonna go to the after party. Good meeting you." And I'm like,
Oh, shit.
I thought I was going to the after party, and then out of nowhere, there's all these dudes that are like standing behind them, and I'm like looking around.
Damn.
And I kind of figure out, okay, I know what's going on. I'm a fucking dumb American. Don't fight back. So they took everything from me, and I had a bag of chips that I bought for me. And this one chick took the bag out of my hands, opened them. She fucking put her hand in my chips, ate some, offered me some of my own chips. I grabbed a couple, and then she takes the bag from me, and I'm eating my own chips. And I'm like, oh, right on. I know what's happening. And they just, okay, good meeting. And boom, they all left. So I'm
Damn.
just thinking to myself, you know what, dude? Not that big of a deal. Could have been a lot worse, dude.
Yeah, so your newfound, I guess, frame of mind, everything happens for a reason. So give me the reason for that.
Fuck. I think
So-
honestly it was just kind of for the story at that point.
So they
Like-
they were like, let's see how far we could take it. Is he gonna take some of his own chips? Oh my, he took some of his own chips. Holy shit!
Yes,
Graciously.
I did. And like, what's funny is I'm journaling all of it. So when I was journaling, I was like, it was kind of funny. Like she's laughing at me, making fun of me, and I can hear the chips crunching in her mouth, like as she was cracking up. So
So-
very, very random, like vivid detail I had. But yeah, man, it was cool, dude. The trip again, things just lined up so perfect that I came back and I was just thinking to myself, wow, okay, things do happen for a reason.
Nice, man. Dude, I'm like, when it comes to travel, I am the stereotypical American. I haven't never traveled really. I'm so not cultured. It's crazy. And so I see you have gotten out in your life. You've met people, you've done things that are crazy. Dude, you're a fighter. You fight in fury and everything. It's crazy to me the things that you've done in your life. And I'm like, holy shit, man. I sit in my house so much of the time.
Yeah, everyone's got a different path, man.
It's,
And I've traveled a bit. I've been like 32 countries now. Pretty
Jesus
dope, man.
Christ.
It's cool. It's cool for sure. But again, there's so much out there, dude. There's so many people who have done so much more, right? And I feel like what taught me that is fighting.
Really?
Like you think you're so badass, and then like, dude, I've done weigh-ins and face-offs with people where I'm like in their face, like, oh man, I can't wait to fuck this guy up, and I'm trying to get in his head, and they're cool. And then we fight the next day, and they just beat the shit out of me, knock me out in front of all my friends and family in like a minute, 47 seconds to be exact. And I'm like, right on. And then after they put their hand out, hey, thanks for taking the fight, brother. And you're like, you just knocked me out. Like,
have you ever had like a face off with somebody where you're like, oh, this dude's gonna fuck me up? Or are you just confidence the whole way?
Mainly confidence, dude, but I've got with professional amateur, I have 21 total fights, right? So every experience is different. There's only been one moment where I did a face off and I was just so confident and he just really got in my face. And as soon as he walked away, I thought to myself, man, I think this motherfucker's serious. Cause you know, often it's for the show.
Right.
But he got in my face and, you know, I kind of like second guessed everything. I was like trying to be tough in his face and he walked away and I'm like, dude, I don't think that was an act. I think that was real. And it was, you know, he like beat me up it was on NBC Universal and international television. Honestly, I just kind of bitched out the entire fight. And now the dude's in the UFC, he's on a tear. We're actually friends. We like message each other.
Nice.
We used to have this weird thing like way back in the day. I don't even know how this happened, but like we had each other on all social medias. And I went through like a really crazy phase in my life, but like I used to bang people and like Snapchat them and send it to like some of my guy friends.
So you mean like you're still going through this phase?
No, I'm over that part. I was like, that was like 2 weeks ago, dude. No, I'm just kidding. No,
you're in the encore right now.
Yeah, no, it was just, I fought this dude in what year did I fight him? 2015,
right?
I think. Yeah, 2015. So like there was like a time after where I don't know, man. I would ask the girls like, hey, I'm gonna send this to my friends. They'd be like, yeah, okay, and they would say hi in the video and everything. Jesus. So I would always like shoot it to this dude that I fought. It was like a weird relationship. And then he'd send me back, ha 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 ha, you're a funny motherfucker. And then he would do it, but he ended up like no disrespect or anything, right? But like he ended up marrying this chick. And then he obviously stopped immediately. And I'm like, oh fuck. All right, right on.
He ramps it up.
Yeah, now he's like super in there. She was like pegging him and shit. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Nah, it was you know, he changed, man. He became like, you know, a married dude. And obviously he stopped doing it.
Low T, bro.
Yeah, and then he stopped doing it and then they got like really serious. I'm like, oh fuck. He's like married. Okay, cool.
Jesus. Well, dude, I've never been in a fight in my life ever.
No.
I would get the shit kicked out of me immediately in any situation.
Yeah, it's really not that bad, dude.
Oof,
getting beat up is not that big of a deal. It's just physical pain.
I like that you went straight to getting beat up because I like that you were just like, you don't have a chance. Just you were like, getting beat up is okay. It's almost respectable.
No, it's I don't know, bro. It's getting beat up is not that big of a deal. And then when you beat people up, it's one of two mindsets. Sometimes you're hitting them and you're like on a higher level show. Right. And in your mind, you're doing it and you're like, fucking die. Like just fucking die already. Like you're just thinking that in your head because you're trying to just put this guy away. And then there's other times when you fight people and you hit them and they talk, man. Like people make noises and they start saying stuff to you like, oh, fuck, man. Oh, shit. And as you're doing it, you're like, oh, man, like you're just going through it, but you're doing your thing, you know, and guaranteed people have thought the same shit. Like, I've been finished before and I like woke up and I was saying, okay. And then I hear the crowd cheering and I'm like, oh, fuck. All right, I just got knocked out. All right, cool.
So, dude, I asked you to think about a joke of yours that you have that works on stage, man. So what do you have for me there?
That works on stage?
Yeah. I like that you're like, oh, shit.
Actually, nothing works right now. I've only been doing this shit like a year and some change now. No, I've got like, it's interesting, man, because there's things that I want to try, right? And I've gone on there and I'm like, I'm going to try something else. And I'm going. And then I start like everybody bombs at some point. Right. And you start kind of bombing or like, you're not getting the reactions or for some reason the crowd's just different. It's hit before and it's just not right now. Right. And so I always go back to my, like, I served in the Marine Corps during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It's like my panic mode. Right.
Yeah.
And it's actually, it's not a joke, but it's a true story about like, I served during Don't Ask, Don't Tell, meaning you could not be gay. Like they would legitimately kick you out if you were gay. And
Right.
I would see it. Right. Guys would like hold hands and like kiss, and you knew they weren't gay, or they'd be in the shower in front of everybody, would be like washing each other. And we'd all be like, oh, come on, bro. Like this is like, if you were gay, I guaranteed you wouldn't be doing that. But like what's even more gay is that you're doing that because like two gay dudes would be like, we're not going to do that in front of everyone, but you guys are just doing the most to try and get kicked out. That's cool. They'll like scrub each other's bodies. And then of course we're like 18. So some kid would be like, oh, I'm going to go tell on you, Sergeant. These two guys are scrubbing each other down again. And I didn't flinch. I just kept showering. Like, okay, that's kind of weird. I'm naked. And 10 feet from me, there's these two dudes like caressing each other, massaging. I know it's fake, but that's gayer than gay. Like you're doing the most. Anyway, I served during Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And then I always say, however, the Marine Corps made me gay. And then people kind of laugh. And then I talk about, and again, it's not really me trying to be funny, but people laugh every time. And I just told them how, like, for instance, one time a guy started laughing and the drill instructor said, oh, you want to laugh? You think something's funny? You want to be gay? Boy, get naked right now.
Jeez.
And then I'm like, and he says,
like, it's cold though.
Yeah. And then I'm like, because that makes sense, right? And he's like, aye, sir. So he gets naked and he looks around and he tells all of us, all of you, get naked right now.
Holy shit. Is this like one of those things where if you get caught with cigarettes, you have to smoke the whole pack? He's like, look,
yeah,
you want to be gay? All of you get naked right now.
100%. Except the package cigarettes were like our penises or whatever.
The whole troop or whatever the group is called. Man. I don't know.
Yeah. So the whole platoon. So he made us all get naked, stuffed us all in the shower. We're all covering like our privates, like, you know, our butt and our penis. And
all the privates covering their privates?
All the privates. Yeah. All the privates were covering their privates. And he's making us squat up and down. And like, then he tells us to put our hands in the air. And I'm not exaggerating, like penises are slapping, like, again, my penis, like blah, 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 blah.
Like, that's enough bragging.
Yeah. And it was crazy, man. And then I always say like during the set, I always say, and that's not even the worst part. The worst part is some of these penises were uncircumcised. Nobody should have to see that shit. And then people kind of laugh. And then the one dude that doesn't laugh, I always point to him. I'm like, I know why you're not laughing. Everyone look at him. Everyone look. He's not circumcised, you know, and then everybody laughs. So like I say all these things and eventually he's like, do you still want to laugh? Do you still want to be gay, boy? And that's when I had my epiphany that the Marine Corps made me gay. And I don't answer like, no, sir. I'm like, no, sir. Like that's when I realized the Marine Corps made me gay. And then I talk about what I say. Oh, then I always say like, if you're not laughing, you're pretty much a terrorist. And then I say, you know, on Veterans Day, when people say, or Memorial Day, when people say, thank you for your service, like a tear runs down my face. And the question is never, how many people have you killed? The question should always be like, how many uncircumcised penises have you seen? You know, and I always say, I have PTSD. I went to the war and it's not from going to the war, you know, and I talk about the penis, blah, blah, blah. So all that stuff works. Right.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm just kind of, I'm not delivering the bit, but I'm kind of talking about it. And it works, dude. It's all real stuff. I'm not even trying to be funny. First time I said it, I like borderline, I was like opening up to the world. Like, yo, this is kind of gay. Like, I was 18 and like my penis touched another penis, like forcefully. And I tell the story forcefully, right? And for my country, anything for my country, you know, thank you for your service. You know, and people were laughing and I'm like, okay, I don't know why they're laughing. Like, I'm just telling a raw story. So cool. And then, you know, I've developed that bit. I feel like it's a pretty unique experience. It works on stage. It's like my go-to. I'll open it with it, whatever. And then some of the things that I've tried were, you know, on that note of being serious, where I was going to therapy back in the day.
Right.
And I mean, I definitely like to go back. I'm probably gonna go back here in a bit, but
I was say you were like, nope, fixed. We
did
it.
I'm super fixed. And I would talk about like my therapy, and then I would talk about like having a sex demon, and the bit works to a point, but I would just kind of talk about. I pretty much would say like, oh, everybody's got a sex demon. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you. And then I would honestly just kind of talk about like my dark sexual experiences.
So Jesus.
And I thought they were funny because it would be about like a girl that like I met this girl off the internet and it's like it's funny. I get some laughs, but that one's hit or miss depending on the crowd, right? Sometimes people crack up.
Right.
Sometimes it's a room full of people and 3 people crack up and I'm like, I'll play with that. And then sometimes I say this like super intimate piece about my life and nobody laughs. I'm like, fuck. I talk about, it's a girl I met from the internet and I was like having sex with her. And by the time you know it, she brings out like my sex demon, but this is all a real story. first time ever having sex, she's asking me, it just gets dirtier and dirtier. And she's telling me, say this, say that. And by the time you know it, like I get kind of serious. And I'm like, how many guys from the internet have you fucked? Huh? You fucking whore. And she's like, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? And I tell her, yeah, yeah. And then she tells me, so many. And I'm always thinking that the correct response would be like, I don't know, 3, like, oh, you're so dirty, you're so edgy. And I always tell people, I explain on stage, here's the deal. That's a rhetorical question. Like, don't answer that. But she did.
I think that's the true don't ask, don't tell. Is you're not
Yeah.
supposed to ask that, and she's not supposed to tell you.
Yeah. But it was during sex, right? And so
So
again, when I tell the story in that manner, I could just keep going on like the rest of the stuff she said. People kind of laugh, they kind of don't. And then when I deliver it the way that I'm going to talk about right now, like adding the little props in between, not the props, the little segments. And so she'll say, do you really want to know? And I'll say, yeah. And I kind of pause, and then she says, so many. And then she says, do you want to know more? And then when I act out the,
do you want to know more? Jesus.
She actually really said that. Do you want to know more?
Details.
And I don't, right? But I'm like, yeah.
That's the wrong answer if you don't.
I know. I went to Vegas last weekend and I fucked 2 guys at the same time. And I'm like, yeah. And then she says, do you want to know more? And of course I'm like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah. And then she's like, it was my 3rd threesome. And then she says, one of them was fucking me in the ass and I was sucking the other one's cock. There was slobber everywhere. And right then and there, yeah, my dog barked at the perfect time. And then right there, I'm like, yeah. Right. And I was like, and that's when I finished, like right then and there. That's when I finished. And so sometimes people crack up. Sometimes nobody cracks up. And then, when nobody cracks up, you're like, man, that's fucking weird. I just told this story about like how I met this girl from the internet and I said all this crazy shit. And I was trying to be funny, but I don't think anybody finds it funny. Fuck. So I started the Marine Corps during Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and I just kind of go back, to whatever works.
Well, I like that your drill instructor was like, you want to be gay? I'd be like, no, but they keep sending me the hot drill instructors.
Yeah. Like I didn't want to be gay. Like you're
making it work, man.
Yeah, dude. Like you're fucking irresistible, man.
I like strong direction in the bedroom. What's up?
Yeah, man.
Dude, so speaking of nobody laughing and you reverting back to the don't ask, don't tell stuff, I asked you to think about a joke of yours that you have that doesn't work on stage. So what do you have for me there, man?
Oh, that doesn't work?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the don't ask, don't tell always like hits, right? The one that I was saying that doesn't work is like that one, right? Or okay. I talk about, or I'll say it's either the sex demon one, and I've even like tried to make it funnier, and I would even say, yeah, by the time you know it, I'm saying weird stuff like how many guys, and this is all like a real story. Like I'll remove that story and I tried to make like what would I say? I said, yeah, how many guys, by the time you know it, I'm saying crazy stuff. Like I'm a normal dude. I say this. And by the time you know it, I'm saying, how many guys from the internet have you fucked? Oh, you fucking whore. And how many hearts have you broken? I'll even throw in, how
many hearts have you broken? Damn, you.
Yeah. How many hearts have you broken? And then I'll say, I'll even throw in, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Right. Now, I thought that was funny.
How many cars have you scratched the paint on?
Yeah. How many cars have you scratched the paint on, you fucking vindictive bitch? Like, but instead, when I say the Exorcist one, again, sometimes it works on stage. Sometimes I get 0 laughs. And I'll say, I'll even throw in your mother sucks cocks in hell. And what I'm doing is it's an Exorcist reference because I'm talking about a sex demon, right? So you got to have some brains to kind of piece them together and be like, oh, this guy's talking about a sex demon. He's saying crazy shit. A, B, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Sometimes I say that line and not one person makes a peep. And I'm like, fuck. Like I thought.
So you spent the whole time fucking this chick trying to figure out who you were Eskimo brothers with?
I mean, it was in California. I didn't even know anybody else, but there came a point when like she had a boyfriend and like we kept having sex and his name was, I don't even know why I'm saying this. This is fucking whatever. I don't need to say this, but his name was Trevor. And we hit a point where
shout out to Trevor. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. His last name was, no, I'm just kidding. No, we hit a point where I'd be like, do you love him? And she'd be like, I do. And then for some fucking weird reason, we're like having sex. I'd be like, what's his name? And she's like, Trevor. And she'd like yell his name. And like after, as soon as I was done,
you're like, call me Trevor.
Yeah. No, I didn't say that. She just would yell it. And then we kept going. And then as soon as I was done, I realized like, fuck, I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere, but there's not.
Yeah, I feel like the joke's on Trevor.
Yeah, jokes on Trevor, dude. I should call him, dude. Poor guy.
Call him. Hey man, how's your girl? She changed her number?
Hey bro. I'll be like, she keeps playing hard to get with me. She's like filing restraining orders, calling the cops and stuff. Like,
Hey, bro, your girl was with two people in Vegas last weekend. I don't know how you feel about that.
yeah. Oh, I only know because she told me when I was, you know.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that you spent the whole time with a chick asking her about who she was with. Like during the most intimate time you could spend with her, you were like, "Hey, who else have you been with like this?"
Yeah, I don't even know where that came from. She's the one that brought it up, right? And then I don't know, man. It was crazy. It ended up that whole thing lasted for like a year, you know? And dude, she would say crazy shit. Like I had roommates and she would just out of nowhere start yelling, like, go get your roommates. And I'll be like, dude, shut the fuck up. And it wasn't like a hot, like, yeah, shut the fuck up. I literally was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you like this? And
Why do
so
you like this?
needless to say, it didn't work out, thank God.
Damn,
And then I stopped being that guy, you know. Now I'm normal. I went on a trip to Central America and
that's normal as fuck, bro. So I can't tell you
yeah,
how many people I know go on trips to Central America.
yeah, by themselves. And then you're asking me about like something that I'm working on in terms of jokes.
Yeah, so what you're writing about now? So what do you have for me there, man?
It's kind of funny, dude. Like I'm not going through a breakup per se, but like
Per se, it's mutual. What the fuck?
no, it's like she loves me. She just doesn't know it yet, dude. It's my job to make her realize it.
That sounds Stockholm syndrome as
Yeah,
fuck.
no, dude. Yeah, dude. She's in my basement right now. But
So,
no, I think like I've been going through this process, if you will, and like we're like not really speaking anymore, right? But I talk about like there's humor in it because it relates to people, right? Everybody's gone through a fucking breakup, right?
right.
And I'm kind of what I'm working on ish is like, yo, I'm going through a breakup and I'm going through the phase where like I can get a call at 3 a.m, like you believe in the breakup, but you don't believe in it entirely. And
So,
she could call me at 3 a.m and I could be like, I'll drop everything I'm doing, answer the call, and I'll be like, oh yeah, hey, good morning. What's that? Your car broke down? I'm on my way.
so
Wait. What's that? Oh, his car broke down. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Like, you know what I
Justin's
mean?
car broke down.
Yeah, like, you know, Trevor's car broke down. Like, oh, I'm
Oh,
on my
Trevor.
way.
Yeah, yeah, my
Yeah, I'm
bad.
just kidding.
So,
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you go through that like phase where you're like in denial almost, but you're I don't know how to explain it. You're just kind of, you know, like I'm trying to explain like when she got a boyfriend, dude. I was hanging out with my buddies and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe, you know, he tagged her in this video. And then guys, I don't even know. This is what I'm kind of writing about. Like, why am I still friends with these guys? I'd be like, I can't
so
believe he tagged her in that. And then they'd say, oh, that's not all he's tagging, brother.
yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to be friends with all these people because you're seeking out as you're having sex with women what the names are of all these people. I'm pretty sure you just want to be friends with all the people that have fucked the people you fucked.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to like be your friend, honestly. Like, I don't even care about you or the sex or whatever. But
So,
no. And then the other thing was, what did he say?
you fuck me
Like,
here, your family.
yeah, you fucked me once, shame on me. You fucked me twice, shame on
Shame on
Trevor.
me again.
Shame on me again, I'm sure. But then they like made it official on like social media, and I'm trying to find a way to like word all this. But they made it official, and then my friend says, "Man, she probably took the day off tomorrow." And I'm like, "Well, what's that?" Because like they're gonna hang out, and he's like, "No, she's probably not gonna be able to walk, brother." And I'm like,
Jesus.
What do you mean?" Like, I'm not a numbers guy, but if I were a betting man, I mean, you're like what, 5'5", dude? Guy looks at least 6 feet. Like, if I were to compare penis sizes, dude, massive penis, massive dog for sure. He's got a massive dog, and I'm like, dude, why am I your friend? He's like, she's not gonna be able to walk tomorrow, brother. And then I'm like, I see the dude, and I'm like, you know what? He looks like a nice guy. Like, I kind of like want to like the guy almost. And then my friends are like, or I said, yeah, at least he's not beating her. And then my friend tells me, and we're like having beers, like I'm all sad drinking and shit. He's like, oh, he's definitely beating her, all right. Just not in the way
Jesus.
you're thinking. And I'm like, dude, why the fuck?
Okay, speaking of size, I've always thought, all right, girls that have big tits, if you're like a bigger chick, that it's not the same, right? I also think it works the same for guys, right? Like Shaq probably statistically has a humongous dick, but
Oh
that dude
yeah.
is huge. Like that for his size, I think that's just probably a normal sized dick.
Yeah, dude, like that's what I'm saying. Like my boy was like, yo, I'm not a numbers guy, but if we're a betting man, you're standing next to each other and compare penis sizes. I mean, brother, it's physics, bro.
But he was saying this about a 6 foot tall man.
Yeah, he's just fucking with me. Like, again, I don't know
So
why. Like, girls are like, no, girl, that girl's ugly. You don't want him. He sucks. And guys are like, oh, brother, honestly, what time is it? 12:30. We're having beers. And he's like, oh, it's 12:30. Guaranteed, brother. Like, I'm not trying to like be a Debbie Downer or anything, but guaranteed she's getting railed right now. She probably just came. And you're like, why am I your fucking friend? But it makes you laugh, you know, like
They're probably taking a water break right now and they're getting back to it.
yeah, you know, but that's what guys do. And you're like, you think so? You really think? They're like, yeah, man. Like, and you're like, fuck. And you're like laughing, but you like take a sip and you get all fucking. So I mean, it's the difference between guys and girls. Guys are like, yo, I'm just gonna like hurt you more because that's what we do.
That's exactly what I do, man. I'm just nothing but a hurt machine, baby.
Yeah, dude.